Welcome to Profit Pages. Have you ever ended a long, intensely busy workday feeling completely exhausted, only to look back and realize you didn't actually accomplish a single meaningful thing for your future? Grab a coffee, settle in, and let's dive into today's business story. This exhaustion is rarely a symptom of poor discipline. Instead, you are caught in a documented, widespread epidemic that affects the vast majority of the modern workforce. We operate in a corporate culture that actively rewards the appearance of labor, replying to a message within 30 seconds or being active on 5 different project threads at once makes you look highly visible, while quiet, isolated progress goes largely unnoticed. Spending 40 hours a week trapped in this cycle of performative busyness actively caps your earning potential. When you trade prolonged focus for quick replies, you lose the ability to produce the rare, high-value work required to actually secure your financial independence. Unless you actively build a defense mechanism against these constant demands, you will spend your entire career permanently confusing chaotic motion with actual progress. This diagram shows a standard 8-hour workday. Think of this solid, unbroken timeline as a finite block of potential cognitive energy you wake up with every morning. But in reality, that clean block is quickly destroyed. It fractures into hundreds of interruptions throughout the day. A quick direct message here, an urgent email thread there, a sudden calendar invite popping up. Cal Newport categorizes these highly fragmented, low-cognition tasks as shallow work. Shallow work consists of logistical and minor administrative duties that require very little specialized training to actually complete. Executing these tasks carries a heavy biological cost. Every time you switch your attention from a spreadsheet to a chat notification and back, your brain has to reorient itself. This constant task switching rapidly drains your mental battery, leaving you exhausted before you've created any output of actual value. The default structure of the modern digital workplace, with its open-plan offices and instant messaging platforms, is literally engineered to prevent deep, meaningful output. The direct antidote to this epidemic of distraction is a method Cal Newport calls deep work. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. Consider the historical master craftsman, a woodworker or a sculptor, relying entirely on their hands and tools. Their physical labor requires extreme precision, patience, and isolation to produce a masterpiece. A woodworker would never set up their workbench in the middle of a noisy, crowded city intersection. Their highly specialized tools demand a quiet, isolated room where they can hear the grain of the wood and control every minute movement. If you are a modern knowledge worker, your brain is your ultimate craftsman's tool. To function properly and produce exceptional results, your mind requires the exact same level of environmental protection as that woodworker shop. Step 1 in building this environment is auditing the noise. You have to sit down and ruthlessly review your daily responsibilities, explicitly separating the highly essential tasks from the purely shallow ones. Once you identify those shallow tasks, you apply the rule of batching. Instead of letting emails and status updates bleed randomly into every hour of your day, you force them into strict confined time windows, say 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the late afternoon. Step 2 is actively protecting your attention using a technique called time blocking. Time blocking involves scheduling your entire day in advance into distinct blocks of time, specifically reserving long, unbroken hours solely for high-value cognitive output. Practically speaking, this means building a digital quiet room. You close every unnecessary browser tab, log out of team communication apps, and physically remove your phone. Step 3 involves training your focus muscle. Deep work is not a switch you can instantly flip on demand. It relies on a specific neurological pathway that, for most of us, has severely atrophied over years of constant smartphone use. During your first few attempts at sitting in a room stripped of digital stimuli, you will experience literal mental withdrawal symptoms. Your brain will crave a dopamine hit, and you will feel intense, uncomfortable boredom. You overcome this by progressively overloading your focus muscle. Start with just 20-minute intervals of deep work, and gradually build your stamina up to chunks of 90 minutes or more over the course of several weeks. Ultimately, deep work is a rigorous, structured operational framework that you deliberately build into your life, not a fleeting state of mind you just hope to magically achieve. Let's look back at the shattered workday timeline from earlier. Operating in this baseline state of constant interruptions leaves us drained and stagnant. But when you apply this framework, the timeline dramatically reorganizes into massive, unbroken blocks of protected deep work. The shallow administrative noise is quarantined into tiny clusters at the margins. This restructuring creates an immediate emotional shift. That familiar 5 o'clock exhaustion is entirely replaced by a profound sense of tangible accomplishment. And this leads directly to a vital macroeconomic reality. As artificial intelligence and automation easily consume basic administrative and shallow tasks, the human ability to execute prolonged, unbroken focus on complex problems is rapidly becoming the rarest, most highly compensated skill on the market. Protecting your attention provides a significant economic advantage. This discipline acts as the specific mechanism that multiplies your professional value. You can start small right now. Finish that coffee, close out your extra browser tabs, put your phone in another room, and build your very first digital quiet room today. At Profit Pages, we break down the mechanics of these business stories to help you outpace the noise of an increasingly distracted world. If you want to keep building your professional value and move closer to true financial independence, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next chapter.